Okay, welcome to the video. In this video, I will just show you settings of the buttons up here in general, like profile, reports, things like that. I don't know how big this will be, but I hope it helps you if you have any doubts. Um, First, let's start with the profile. It is the simple one. You can just edit how it looks. You can put an image here. Nothing too special. Nothing that impacts your gameplay. The most important thing here is the results tab, where you can compare your farm to the person with the most farm of the day. So this is very useful, especially on speeds, for you to know how you are doing. Also, when you are playing a speed round, you also would like to turn this off. Like this, your your awards will not be shown. So here, if I go to this guy's profile, you can see there's nothing here. His achievements are not shown. But if I go to this guy's profile, for example, you can see that he shows his achievements. And there's small informations like this, for example, Happy Natore. It shows that he's farming and it shows how much he's farming. So if you want to hide this, it's good because if you are playing against a really good player, he will be able to take information out of this. For example, this here as well. This is a really big one. It basically tells your opponents how many troops you have. First is 20, then it's 5,000, and then it's 50,000. Like you can tell some things about the player from this award here, the amount of troops. So I honestly just turn everything off because there is no point to have that on, and I still use this to compare my settings and how I'm doing. So yeah, that is all you have to know about this. You can see stats here, but this is for worlds, friends. This is obviously friends, and this is where you block people, and the inventory as well. This is where you will find your items in worlds and things like that. Yeah, nothing too special, and that is all for the profile. Um, I guess I can talk about this as well. The leaderboards. The most important difference is being able to go here and see the bash points and to see um, to be able to analyze that. So for example, if I go to Farless, okay, wait, none of them have bash points yet, but well, imagine you want to attack someone. Let's go for a world, for example. I don't know. Um, let's check another speed actually. Is there any speed here? Nope. Maybe in here. Let's see. Yes, but it's also started now. Damn, I'm so unlucky. There is no speeds. What? This is so weird. Net? Okay, net saved me. Um, Imagine you want to attack someone here, and you want to know what kind of troops they have. If you go see here, for example, this guy, he only has attacker bash points, so you will know that he's probably mostly an offensive player. So yeah, this is also a good way to know what your opponents have. So yeah, this is a really cool way to know what's going on as well, and that's pretty much all there is to be seen here. Just the importance of the bash points, and yeah, of course, leaderboard, but well, you know how it works. In messages, there really isn't much for me to say. It's just very useless. In reports, I normally turn the reports per page to 120. I just add a zero because then all of the reports will be in one page, and I do not have to be clicking in multiple pages to see the different reports. So yeah, you can obviously filter some reports here. I don't really use any of this. It's a lot of world things. Um, but you can select your filters here, what you want to see reports about and what you do not want to see reports about. Um, yeah, it's pretty useful sometimes. Imagine you are using the resource balancer. If you are using the resource balancer a lot, you can transport and try to village. This is the the market transports between your own villages. You can turn this, and you will not receive the reports from this. So it might be helpful, and this is probably helpful as well sometimes if you have a lot of villages and you just spam the account manager building on all of them. you will get a lot of reports telling you that okay, this is completed. But if you turn this on, then yeah, you will not get those reports that fill your reports tab. So that's useful. And yeah, these are just ways to filter the reports. Nothing too special. Let's go see the map. The map has a cool thing that is you can go to the map by clicking M. It's a very useful thing to know. Just click M and you go to the map. Um, Here you can extend your map. For example, make it bigger, just to be able to see more of the villages that are around you and study the map after. This is obviously situational to study the map. In the map, you can also find. I'll put this here. The fast commands. I also made a video about this. You can find it on my channel. Um, you can change the minimap size as well, but this is not very useful for speeds. It's a bit irrelevant. And something that is quite useful is this master mapper. Sometimes you might want to know how many barbars there are, barbarians. Here you can see barbary and it tells you the number. So this might be useful depending on what's going on, just for you to have these statistics. Well, it's pretty much all for the map, and we go into the most important part now, which is the overviews. In the overviews, there is a lot you can see. So in the combined view, you can well just see your villages and see the amount of troops they have and see what's going on in the productions. Because look, I will go here, put some spears to produce, and it will tell you it's green. It is recruiting spears. The same thing for buildings as well. I can come here and build this, for example, and you will see that this is green now, and yeah, it is saying that it is being built. Same for these things then. So you will find some good information here. Imagine you have your account manager on. You will find information telling you that it is working or not, basically. So yeah, this is a good way to keep up with what's going on. Production. This is obviously just yeah, this is pretty much just the same thing as the previous one, but it tells you more specifically what is happening. This is also the screen where a lot of the rename village scripts work. So yeah, this is where you do it. It just tells you what's going on. You can see now it tells me I'm recruiting spears here. If I was building something, it would also tell me. Yeah, transporty is for market trades. It is a bit useless. I don't really see anyone using this, but it's just an overview of market trades. You can see all of them, the ones that are leaving, the ones that are arriving, your own, the ones that are coming back. Like this is just for market trades. It's honestly very useless, especially in speed. You don't really need that. This might be useful. The troops. I do not really touch any of these other buttons. Um, it can give you some good statistics, especially when you have more villages, for you to know what you have. For example, imagine you are planning to attack someone, but you might have already some attacks going outside. You can click on Nel Villaggio and you will see what villages you still have, what troops you still have in your villages for you to attack them, to use them to attack. So yeah, it might be useful, but it's not something that's big. The biggest thing here is the support, which is very useful if you have troops outside. Especially imagine you conquer someone and you send an anti-snipe. So you are conquering with a good amount of troops. So if people attack you, they will kill a good amount of troops in your village, which is not ideal. So you just come to here, troop support, and you will be able to remove all of the supports you have from everywhere, or you can manually remove the ones that you have to. For example, you have death stacking some village. You of course don't want to leave it to remove it. So yeah, it is where you can manage your supports and you can cancel all of them. So it's very very useful. Commands. This is also where you will see your commands to all of the villages. Let's, for example, create a template here. I will set this here. Just send some attacks, and you will see what happens in the overviews for the commands. Yeah, this is. You will be able to see everything here. The time, the village where it comes from, and the village it is attacking. You can even cancel all of them at the same time. You can click this, annul, and yeah. Of course, it's not annul in every server. This is in Italian server, of course. In a Revo, this is the incoming section. When you click the X up here, this is where you go to. You go to the inner Revo section of the overviews. And yeah, it's good for managing attacks. And of course, if you have this option turned on, the troops can be ignored. It will give you the option of ignored and non-ignored. Um, it's very useful. I talked about that in the video where I go over the settings. After that, we have the buildings tab. You can build your village up from here. You can just click here to build to activate the building, and you can just click on these things. So yeah, you are going to be able to build everything from this page, which is very useful if you're managing multiple villages. You can just click here and build things from your overviews. The researches, yeah, this is pretty much the same thing with buildings. You just click on the buttons, click on the balls here where you do not have researched yet for you to research them. It's very simple. And the groups are probably the most important thing here, especially if you are managing multiple villages. So there are the dynamic groups and the manual groups. Like in the fight speed round that I recorded a few hours ago, I just made some manual groups, some dev group, off group, and I manually assigned the villages to them. So you can just choose here. If you have multiple villages, you can also just choose all of them. And then with that, you can just click dev. For example, let me give dev. May put this village in dev. So now it is here. You can see it is in dev group. If it's in the off group, nothing is there. Um, then besides the manual groups, you also have the dynamic groups. You can just create a random group, test, and there are a lot of settings that you can put here. You can select by type of type of yeah army. So if I select defense, you will see that this will say this village is defense because I have spears. To be offensive, of course, it would have to be with axes and stuff like that. I normally don't use this because I don't know if this is that reliable. So yeah, you can also do this to see a group of villages that have attacks incoming. This is good if you are managing multiple villages. You can just make a group with villages that have attacks incoming or not. Supports as well. This is a bit useless. Attacks that are leaving. So this you can see whether there are attacks that are leaving your village or not. Um, has noble yes or no? Of course, this is an easy one. You have the high nobility by default. This model, this group, it basically it says that if it has a noble, every village with a noble will be there. You can also manage it by points. So imagine you can say if a village if villages have more than this amount of points, then you can have them in a specific group or something. I don't know. It all. Let's say you have more troops in these ones, so you want to attack with them. You just set this group, and you'll be able to see which villages have troops. It's good. Um, you can set these multiple times for some reason. Interesting. Loyalty as well is something you can work around with. The population total used. This is very useful. Imagine you want to select just the best offs that you have. You can just put like 15,000 or something, and only villages with more than 15k population used will appear here. So of course villages with more troops. Um, yeah, this is for buildings, for units. You can specifically filter for units and for where they are. Support units, technology, um, coordinates, distance, notes or not, continent. There are a lot of things you can work around here on the dynamic groups, and it might be very useful. But I normally just use the manual groups. If necessary, I can work around on these, but it's not that useful. for speeds, that is, and it depends on the speed as well. But yeah, that is overall pretty much all you have to know about all of these buttons up here and what they do. So yeah, I hope this helped you, and thank you for watching.